1,000 subscribers on this channel eventually. So, anyway, on to the football. It's not predictions, just commentary, I guess. So, first off, is the curse broken? If you've watched any of these, you'll know that I am terrible with predictions. Apparently, I usually am pretty good. With my friends, I'm like, oh, like I think this is gonna happen, or this is gonna happen, and I predicted Dalvin Cook being really good. I predicted Deshaun Watson being really good. I predicted Jalen Ramsey doing really well in the NFL. I predicted Florida State doing pretty good in 2013. But ever since I made the channel, I thought that Florida State would be the best team they've been since 2013, which is further from the truth than you could possibly be. This is probably the worst team that Florida State's ever seen. I wouldn't say that. It's been the most disappointing. This is the worst record that we've seen in a long time. And that's just matched with injuries and a super tough schedule. I think the plan was, because we had some of the best talent that we've seen in a while, and I think Coach Jimbo Fisher was thinking there's going to be no excuse to leave us out of the playoffs, so we're going to have the hardest schedule out of anybody else in college football this year, and we're just going to beat all of them. And I believed him, but I guess I was cursed, and I cursed the team, so I'm so sorry. Again, I will never make any more predictions involving Florida State for the rest of this channel. But anyway, all that aside, is the curse broken? Because I did make a prediction that UGA will not, and I stand by it, UGA cannot win the national championship. They can't do it. They were number one. People were saying that they're going to do it. This is their year, and I've said since the beginning, UGA cannot do it. They have a lot of talent. They look really good. They're not going to do it, and that's because the curse of this channel does not override the curse of Georgia teams. Look at the Falcons in the Super Bowl last year. Look at the Braves and everything that they do. Georgia is the most disappointing state to live in for sports in general. You look at Atlanta United in the first playoff game. There's their first year being made, and they looked really good. And as soon as they got to the playoffs, they got taken out in a penalty shoot, in a free kick shootout at the end. So, but is the curse broken? Did I predict UGA? Well, not really. UGA could still find their way back into the playoffs. They could still, especially if they play Alabama in the SEC championship and they beat them, then you gotta put them back in. So their hopes are not dashed. They still have a shot, but do they really? I don't think so. So let's look. The college football playoff rankings came out today, and so let's take a look. While that loads up, I just gotta say, it's pretty late right now, and I have a 3 to 5 page essay due tomorrow. So I was going to sit down and do that, but I just stared at a blank screen, and I thought, like, I'm not gonna do this right now. So in order to compensate, I was like, I'm gonna at least do something productive. So I'm gonna make an ASMR video. So I'd choose this over a 5-page essay any day, but I am going to have to write that right after this. So prayers for ASMR, prayers for me that I don't fall asleep and just completely last year. There's no reason why anybody should be put above them. I was saying this when Georgia was put above them. Alabama should have been number one the entire time, except for the beginning of the season. I think Clemson had it, but that takes us to our number two, Clemson. This is the big shocker. Nobody saw this coming. Nobody thought that they put Clemson above Miami after both games they had last week, but it's not a week-to-week rankings. This is over the entire season. I agree with this 100%. Clemson is 9-1. They had a loss to Syracuse, which was like an obvious mistake game, I guess. And they had the exact same thing happen last year, where they lost to Pitt, which really shouldn't have happened. And then they went and beat Alabama and won the national championship. So I see this as very much a repeat of last year. Clemson is, by the way, my second favorite team. My brother went there. And they really don't get enough. The ACC in general doesn't get enough credit, but especially Clemson. Dabo Swinney's done some great stuff there. And they really deserve that number two spot, at least. So 9-1 Clemson at number two. Then we move on to number three, Miami, who is undefeated. They are one of three teams that are undefeated in the top 25. And they came off a huge win against Notre Dame. Notre Dame was number three in the nation. And it wasn't just a win, it was a blowout. Miami destroyed Notre Dame, which is really depressing as a Seminole fan. But again, it's justified. They're at least number three. You could put them at number two. I think some people are putting them at number one. I don't know if you can go that far, but whatever. They had undefeated season, and they just proved themselves in the Notre Dame game. So put them at number three, I guess. Oklahoma at number four. By the way, I just said that Miami is one of three teams in the top 25 that's undefeated. I didn't notice that UCF was still in there, so one of four teams is still really impressive. But anyway, Oklahoma number four. I don't know. It's man. is the top 25 playing. You have, like, if Mercer upset Alabama, that would be incredible. But, you got, like, Clemson playing the Citadel, Auburn playing UL Monroe. You got Wisconsin, Michigan, which is, I'm pretty sure, their biggest game that they've had all season, and that's not even that big of a game. Michigan's 8-2. They're number 24. But out of anybody, if anyone's going to get an upset, if any ranked team is going to be upset by an unranked team, besides like Wake Forest, NC State, like in the top 10, if like out of the people that I said could make the playoffs, if anyone's going to get upset, it's going to be Auburn with UL Monroe, because UL Monroe, for some reason, has just lucky days with SEC teams, and I'm pretty sure they've beaten Auburn in the past. Let me see, what is the matchup predictor there? UL Monroe has a 1.1% chance of winning. Auburn has a 98.9% chance of winning this game. But out of all of them, I highly doubt it. I'm pretty sure that it's just going to be, everybody's gonna win when they're supposed to. But if anybody's gonna get an upset in the top 10, it's gonna be UL Monroe beating Auburn. So if UL Monroe beats Auburn, then for sure the curse is broken. But I don't see it happening. But anyway, that would be very very cool. That would bring some hype back into this very boring week of college football. But what I'm most looking forward to is the game of the century, Florida State versus Delaware State. I'm pretty sure that everybody's going to be watching that game. But again, no predictions whatsoever. I'm not predicting this game. I'm just going to read out what ESPN predicts for that game between Florida State and Delaware State. They give Delaware State a 0.1% chance, which is the lowest that the scale goes. So again, not from me, this is from ESPN. I'm not making any predictions about this game, but after a season like that, after a 3-6 season, I really need a breath of fresh air. So I will be watching that game. So anyway, that's about it. I think so. Let me know what you think about the college football playoffs. We're getting close. We're gonna wrap up this ASMR football ramble series pretty soon, at least for this year. So if you're tired of these coming out, then just know it's just a few more weeks, and then we have the national championship. So, but if you do like these, be expecting some weekly updates on the college football playoffs. I know that I'm really excited about it. Anyway, yeah, that's about it. So, if you like the video, please leave a like. If you have anything to say about the playoffs, any predictions that you have, or anything that I've said that you think is just wrong or that you agree with, let me know in the comments. I'm super interested